Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Today, the delivery of the Cotton Key Dock was made official to the Raizal community, which will begin to manage this important tourist embarkation point.
In the morning hours, the signature was given in which the departmental government formally handed over the management of the Cotton Key Dock to the Raizal Authority as a result of the prior consultation carried out by Fontur and the governor, where this pact was consolidated.
So that the Raizal community is empowered in the economy, empowered also to demonstrate the ability to have good organization, and why not to have this as one of the best docks, and they will have all the support of the departmental government to make the respective maintenance to this dock. And of course, this is in line with the economic revival that we have had.
The leader of the Raizal Authority, Pastor Alberto Gordon and Ofelia Livingston, pointed out that the delivery of this dock symbolized the vindication of the Raizal people in their territory.
Our community today received this as a great gesture of love and thanks to the goodwill of our governor, Everett Harkins, in fulfilling and complying with all the demands and also delivering to his community this tourist wharf so that we can exploit it and make it a great opportunity that will bless many families independently of their social status. But this for us is the new beginning in the economical life of the Raizal people.
Taking in consideration my interest that this would be a reality, I set an injunction and it was approved, and today I can say we have a victory. The first one after many, many years where the Raizal people will have the opportunity to administrate and to handle the wharf.
The Raizal Authority and the local government emphasize that the operations that have been taking place at the dock will continue, but there will be a joint work between police, port captaincy, tourism secretariat, and the authority for the control of boats at the Cotton Key Dock.
Today was the first day of the vaccination campaign implemented by the departmental ESE that seeks to immunize the entire population of the island.
Hundreds of islanders came today to be immunized against COVID-19 in the vacunathon that takes place at the Morgan Canyon. The departmental ESE reported on what the first day of this season was like.
El día de hoy es nuestro primer día de vacunatón por las islas.
Today is our first day of vacunathon against COVID-19 here on the islands. The morning session was quite busy. There was a significant response from the island population to get their first dose and also to complete their schemes. Similarly, we had a very busy day with young people from 12 to 17 years without comorbidity vaccinating with Pfizer. Approximately here at the Morgan Canyon, we have received about 350 people, vaccinating them with Sinovac and AstraZeneca for first and second doses, and also young people with comorbidity and without comorbidity, approximately 100 people.
Attendees at the vaccination campaign described the campaign as positive and invite the community to get immunized against COVID-19.
La verdad es que me pareció súper rápido, súper rápido.
The truth is that I found it super fast. I arrived and everyone had the willingness to serve. It was super fast. I invite all the population to come to all the concentration points and take their vaccine because we must always think of ourselves and the welfare of all of us.
Me pareció excelente. Llegué a las 5:45.
I think it's excellent. I arrived at 5:45 and it's 15 to 6. I'm leaving, which means that in 15 minutes I was vaccinated. In 15 minutes, I have no complaints.
The vaccination campaign will run until September 15 from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Morgan Canyon.
And the director of the OCCRE informs the community that no OCCRE cards are being issued. For the time being, certificates are being given out to replace the card on a temporary basis.
OCCRE cards are not being issued in the department. The cards that are currently having delivered are cards that were already being there. This was stated by the director currently.
No, actually, what we have been doing is to deliver the cards that had already been printed in previous years and that due to a change of address or the impossibility of locating the person, these cards are being held back by the entity.
However, Madarriaga stated that the entity has looked for alternatives so that the inhabitants can carry out their processes in a satisfactory way.
We have looked for an alternative for an immediate solution to the lack of ink and the impossibility of bringing the cards. And this is a certification with a simple request by email or by coming here to the entity and expressing the need and putting it in writing. We provide these certifications in real time to the people.
This certification can be used as a transitory option while the OCCRE card is being delivered.
And in other news, the departmental delegate of the registry spoke about how was the draft or the order of ballots for the municipal youth council elections.
In first instance, the delegate congratulated the active participation of the youth in these elections that will take place at the end of the year.
The participation of young people in these elections has been very important. We started the registrations mainly in Old Providence. Later, the registrar agreed to include San Andres, and that made a greater participation of young people. This is how 47 candidates were registered in total for San Andres. Within these candidates, there are 12 young people from the Liberal Party. For the Radical Change Party, 12 young people. The Conservative Party, 5 young people. And by organizational practices and lists, 18 young people were included. In Old Providence, a total of 29 candidates were registered, of which the Liberal Party participated with 3 registered. The Radical Party with 5 independents were presented, in total 3.
About the draw and the order of the names on the cards, the delegate stated,
"It is important for the citizens and the young people to know that during the whole electoral process, there is also a lottery to determine how the political parties and independent groups will be placed on the ballots. So the final result was the dependents in the first line, in the second line in the organizational practices and processes, and in the third line the political parties."
Finally, the delegate congratulated again all these young people for their participation in those elections, since in one way or another they will participate in all the important decisions that concern the youth of our islands.
And the announcement of the delivery of new houses to those affected by Hurricanes ETA and IOTA generated discontent among those who have been waiting for aid since 2002 after losing their homes due to coastal erosion.
After the announcement made by the Secretary of Planning about the new houses that will be delivered to those affected by Hurricanes ETA and IOTA, the reactions were not long in coming among the Raizal ethnic community, who also lost their homes in the sector of Sumbay in 2002 due to coastal erosion.
I see then they announced they got 16 damnificado from the IOTA, where in a 6 months time, then going to give them their house and then going to give them it through Forecana, and that's something where I really no approve. If really then they're damnificado, yes, then we get their aid. But I don't feel like they forget it before we with a damnificado from 2002, that about 19 years back. IOTA just blew the other day.
The spokeswoman for those affected by the coastal erosion since 2002 affirmed that if necessary, they will sue for the right they consider they have to receive housing before those affected by the last natural phenomenon that took place last year on the island.
They call on the governor with Everett Harkin to look for your people then, because we the ethnic Raizal people, the same word them want to use when time on want no liberty or when time on want get from the power, I want to don't get with ballot. I want to don't no remember we don't have to remember we because we the San Andres people.
From 2002, the breeze come down, the rain, and hit down all our house, the 12 our house. And from that time till now, every government come, then promise and not fulfill. Then just tell we, yeah, we want bill, we want that, we want the other, then got meeting, then got eaten, then got beaten, then got everything. And none no come do nothing. Yeah, we tired. There are there the IOTA come, IOTA, I don't remember how that name. And the people then don't get a house already. And we don't get nothing. No, that can't continue. So I want the government to touch the heart and we too.
Off camera, the Secretary of Planning, Angelica Hernandez, indicated to this news agency that she will make the correspondent validations to the particular case in order to respond to the statements made by the member of the family from the Zone Bay sector.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island. The friendly football match in the Maracanã with Freddy Rincon also contained the presence of other important figures. One of these important personalities is the ambassador of peace and culture and advisor of the governor, Vanessa Aguilar, who through Freddy Rincon's foundation seeks to help the island football players. This is what the advisor told us.
Para nosotros es un honor estar en esta isla.
It is a pleasure as an ambassador of peace and culture for Latin America and the Caribbean, and it is a pleasure to accompany our Colombian star, a symbol of Colombian soccer, Freddy Rincon, who today from San Andres sends a message of education to our children and youth through sport. We want to share with the country that we exist. We want to tell Colombia and the people of San Andres, the Raizal people, that through sport we can generate inclusion and transformation. Old Providence today is the central place of our brothers. They have not yet recovered emotionally, physically, or with housing issues after being affected by Hurricane IOTA and ETA. Old Providence today is the central place of our brothers. They have not yet recovered emotionally, physically, or with housing issues after being affected by Hurricane IOTA and ETA. But with the match, we want to tell you that it is the first stone that Freddy Rincon, through his foundation with San Andres, will reach Providence and Santa Catalina to integrate young people to rescue the values that our children and young people have in our sister islands.
The presence of the renowned sports figures is of utmost importance for the youth and children of the department, said the ambassador. The softball tournament in Brooks Hill is in its final straight with a classified team. Una nueva victoria del equipo de los Giants sobre la novena de Brooks Hill para lograr another win for the Giants over Brooks Hill team to clinch a berth in the final of this softball-friendly tournament on the Hill. This coming weekend, the Brooks Hill team would face the Barrack team to dispute one of the slots in the final of this softball tournament. We talked to Edwin Bent of the Giants, who told us more details.
Yeah, we come to a point that we start, we have a triple empate, so said so. With team Giants against against Barrack and against Brooks Hill. We come to the point that we have a play against Brooks Hill first game. We beat them in the first game. Now we have to wait what they find between Barrack and Brooks Hill. Anybody who classify, well, we play against the final, God's Prayer Life next week. I consider it's really good to bring the sport or the game them to the neighborhood. Not keep it only in town, which part the principal stadium is, but bring it to the community. This way you make the community come together. By example, the game that we play in this tournament that for me was a #1 tournament, I could say, was the elite of the softball here in San Andres, because you have team from town, you have team from south, you have team from Barrack, Brooks Hill. Everybody come together. Everything was over nice. Everything was wonderful. The game then was #1 game.
The tournaments in the neighborhoods are very popular, with the fans who always join to take advantage of the recreational time and have fun and enjoy themselves.